Socialism. Oh, no, it's socialism. No, this is socialism. Excuse me. Socialism is the BC word for communism. Get it, people? Get it.
He says he's not a socialist, but all of his ideas sound like socialist ideas, and everybody around him are like socialists, and they all support that. And I think that as soon as he's in office, he will start pushing socialism if he was in office.
Maddie Summer, thank you for talking.
They're the devil. They got a lot of Satan in them. They're out for their own good. They have no interest in the United States of America.
Yep, that's it. Devil. Joe Biden is the devil. Hold on. Listen, this is incredibly embarrassing. This is how you know the Trump supporter does not do their due diligence. They do not do any fact checking. They literally take every single word touted by this president and his camp, his administration at face value. If Donald Trump calls Joe Biden a socialist, to his base, he's a socialist. Never mind the fact that Joe Biden is a centrist at best, upholding neoliberal policies at best. He laughed. He scoffed at the idea of Medicare for All. He scoffed at the idea of Elizabeth Warren's Medicare for All plan. All right? They have no idea what the hell they're talking about. And it's honestly, it's funny, but it's kind of embarrassing at the same time. It's embarrassing to see that these people have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. They literally just regurgitate. They regurgitate everything that they hear from Fox News. That lady gives... I mean, this is literally the sheep. The sheep that they're worried about. They are the sheep. They do not think for themselves. They literally listen to what they hear on Fox News or what they hear directly from Donald Trump or what he tweets, and they literally just regurgitate it without a second thought. Without a second thought. Joe Biden is the furthest thing from a socialist. He is a centrist. He's been a centrist his whole life. He has sided with Republicans in Congress, and he's sided more so with Republicans than with Bernie Sanders, the French candidates. What he used to refer to Bernie Sanders as. You think about that. Joe Biden has tried to cut social spending 4 times in this country: Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. 4 times. You cannot get more fiscally conservative as a Democrat as that. Joe Biden has an interest, if he is elected president, to balance the budget. If elected president, he has already said behind closed doors, I will be in the business of balancing the budget. Why can't I say balancing the budget? You're a line, dog food. You're a line. Okay. So Joe Biden has already said he is going to balance the budget if he is elected president. We're going back to austerity. We're extenuating the austerity that we already have. Every politician says that, though. It's almost like the legacy of the president is to cut social spending as much as possible in order or in attempt to balance the budget. It's almost as if the legacy of the president is contingent upon one's loyalty, right, to this cause of trying to remain as fiscally conservative as possible. Say balancing the budget 5 times fast. Balancing the budget. I'm fucking hungry, Chad. I'm a hungry girl. This is what happens. No, I mean, that's what I'm going to say. It's what's going on. Do Trump supporters know what socialism is?
The fact that you call socialism, oh, no, it's socialism. No, this is socialism. Excuse me. Socialism is the BC word for communism. Get it, people? Get it.
Okay, Okay, so this is off to a great start.
He says he's not a socialist, but all of his ideas sound like socialist ideas, and everybody around him.
All right, so this is, again, we talked about this earlier. I brought it up. This is how you know that you're in the thick of the Trump base whenever you are not doing your due diligence to even fact check what a socialist is. It is definitely not PC versions. It's not the PC version of communism. And Joe Biden is definitely not upholding any policies that are a reflection of socialism. All right. That was Bernie Sanders' thing, and he was a social democrat at best. Right? So it just goes to show you how ill-informed and ill-advised the majority of Trump's base truly are if they think that this is socialism. If they hear if they hear Joe Biden's policies and they think to themselves, this is socialism. They have been informed by Fox News and Donald Trump via tweets and any of Trump's camp to make it seem as though they know what they're talking about because they all say that Joe Biden is a socialist because he hangs out with AOC and Bernie Sanders, which is not even true. Because Joe Biden has disassociated himself from that fringe element of Senate, and he made it apparent throughout the tenure of his career in the Senate. He spent more time crafting policies with Republicans than he did with Bernie Sanders, right? But that doesn't, these facts don't stand in the way of Donald Trump's base making these grand assertions based on what they have heard from Fox and Friends or Fox News or Donald Trump himself.
Are like socialists, and they all support that, and I think that as soon as he's in office, he will start pushing socialism if he was in office.
And again,
They're the devil.
like Donald Trump has literally brainwashed so many people into thinking this. It is unreal. Joe Biden cares more about the deficit and cutting government spending than he does to fully fund any kind of nationalized programs that would appear to seem to be maybe perhaps kind of socialism. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Joe Biden literally laughed at the idea of Medicare for all. He literally said to a room full of billionaire donors that nothing would fundamentally change. He said that to his billionaire donors, nothing will fundamentally change. Please give the background music lady a break. I can't.
They got a lot of Satan in them. They're out for their own
Hey,
good.
Hippie, how
They
you
have
doing?
no interest in the United States of America.
And the they there, who's the they?
The Democrats, Biden, Pelosi, all of them, they just got a lot of evil in them. They are not in the best interest of the United States of America.
How so?
I support Trump because he's not a socialist. I'm a foreigner in America. I lived in 2 socialist countries, and I want nothing to do with socialism.
Do you see Joe Biden as socialist?
The people that are handling him are socialists, yes.
Who's handling
No,
him?
he's so corrupt.
Who's handling him? The billionaire donors that he said nothing will fundamentally change to? George Soros? Who is handling him? Where are they getting this? Where are they getting this? This is the reason why they say cut a liberal and a fascist bleeds. Because you have these people who are so impressionable that they will literally follow Donald Trump and company down the fascist pipeline and not even realize it. Evidence is right here because they don't even understand the fundamental difference between Joe Biden and maybe Bernie Sanders. Maybe that's where they're getting this information from because of they are associating some of Bernie Sanders' policies with Joe Biden, thinking that Joe Biden is going to ever adopt any of the policies that Bernie Sanders has tried to negotiate with, right? You know, a few months ago, whenever Bernie Sanders asked that his camp sit down with Joe Biden's camp and they try to work out some sort of negotiations and policies so that Joe Biden would maybe garner more support from the youth. Remember that? So that might be where some of these Republicans are trying to run away with this idea that if Joe Biden takes office, he will start to implement these socialist programs, these socialist policies. Absolutely not. I mean, the writing's on the wall. Joe Biden is taking this opportunity to try to garner more support from the youth to get elected. And as soon as he's elected, the funny thing is, unironically, maybe ironically, is that as soon as Joe Biden gets elected, he intends to keep the austerity going. He has absolutely zero interest in going forward with even the negotiations that he's made with Bernie Sanders to try to appeal to the younger crowd, right? He doesn't even care about that. You think that he's going to give a shit about climate change policy? No. He's just doing that because he knows that it means so much to the younger crowd and the millennials who will be directly impacted from the catastrophic events that will soon happen because of climate change. Right? It's just interesting that it's literally the exact opposite of what these people think will happen. Joe Biden will go back to being a centrist shill, weighing on the side of neoliberal policies sometimes while he tries to balance the budget. Zach Simp, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. The environmental panel has got the whole of the Sunshine Movement to put pressure on him to make sure he follows through. I hope that he does. I mean, I don't think it's going to matter, but good. I hope that the Sunrise Movement does continue to apply public pressure. Thank you for the host, Ella Jackson. I appreciate it.
He wants to have people, take their guns away. He's actually had Beto O'Rourke, supposedly to be in charge of taking the guns away. And I just don't want to have that confrontation if I don't need to.
He calls himself Catholic. He's pro-abortion and pro-same-sex marriage. How Catholic is that?
And on top of that, who he surrounds himself with as well. So you have two choices.
Holy
You
shit.
either have law and order or you have anarchy and chaos. That's it. That's your two choices.
And
Oh my god,
who's the law and order?
the fact that they are literally regurgitating Donald Trump's talking point it's just incredible. This is incredible. It's amazing. It is amazing how they really they don't spend any time second guessing. They spend zero time second guessing what Donald Trump says. Like, this is taken directly from his mouth. This is a direct quotation. Honestly, like I said, this is the reason why we could be heading down the pathway of fascism, because look at these sheep. Look at these ventriloquist dummies who are literally just regurgitating everything that Donald Trump says that's completely rooted in misinformation, factually incorrect, to specifically manipulate and misinform the very people who are gullible enough to believe it. And it's working perfectly, as we're seeing right here, right now.
Order and who's the anarchy?
Come on.
Do you believe that Joe Biden would be a socialist president?
Yes, I do. I totally believe he'd be a socialist president, and that's not what we need here.
It's just a matter of, the liberals rigging the system for him to win, because, and especially the Electoral College. But if you...
Exactly. Here we go. Donald Trump also is behind the scenes proving that he is ready, willing, and able to do what he has to do to rig this election, starting with the USPS, making other changes to the briefings that Congress had with the daily briefings or the weekly briefings, with the possibility of I'm fucking up. he recently called to cancel the regularly scheduled briefings, right? That reported on the possibility of outside countries, external countries, fucking with our democratically held elections, right? Did away with that. The United States Postal Service has been gutted. Drop-off boxes have been completely picked up for no reason. Mail sorters have been unplugged and broken and thrown into the trash for no reason. And who knows what else is to be expected. And yet, Donald Trump had the foresight to understand that he needed to switch the narrative to make it seem like the Democrats were willing to rig the election, right? Because that is literally what he's doing. He is projecting, all right? He is projecting. Psychology 101 tells you that somebody who is guilty of doing something will project onto others and make the other person feel as though they are doing exactly what the person is doing themselves.
Majority of Americans, they support Trump. They're just, they're silenced right now. It all comes down to policy.
Ketogen, thank you so much for resubscribing tier 1 2 months in a row. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. That is a Puggies. Hey, we got another naturally occurring subby in the wild. You'd love to see it. Thank you so much.
And Joe Biden's policies, maybe they're religious, but they're definitely not Christian. And I mean, maybe he goes to church. I don't know. But the things that he supports and the things he believes in is not for the people and it's not for God.
It's interesting that these people are they're so far gone. They're so far gone in their own Christian bigotry that they are questioning Joe Biden's loyalty to the cross. All right? His loyalty to the cross. Because Joe Biden has decided to stand for the civil rights of the LGBTQ plus community, offering the same rights to get married, at the very least, and at the very least. I cannot imagine that in our year 2020, you still have these religious bigots who are touting the most hateful rhetoric under the guise of their love of Jesus Christ. They're using their hate-filled messaging, right, to further a conversation rooted in nothing other than bigotry under the guise of Christian values. This is sick. This is absolutely disgusting, but it's evangelical Christianity 101. This is what they do. All right? And they don't even see the hypocrisy that they are the most hateful people on this planet, LARPing as good, God-loving Christians. And you know what? If heaven and hell actually exists, I am going to laugh whenever I see them in the pits one day. It'll be hilarious, all right? It'll be hilarious because they are going to actually think that they're going to get into heaven being so fucking evil in the name of Jesus Christ. It's great.
Pray for President Biden, should that be the
I pray for President Biden right now. I pray for him. I pray for Kamala Harris. I pray for everybody in our capital, Democrats, Republicans.
Make liberals cry.
We're all under God's, nobody's different.
Would you pray for President Biden?
Well, I pray for President Biden's soul. I think he's ill. So I hope that he gets his life right with Christ before he leaves this earth. But that's all I can think about.
I like that they push the Christian values back onto them, put the pressure on them. And you know what? Obviously they had the sense to respond yes, but you could just see in their faces. You could see it in their faces that it physically hurt them. It physically hurt them to consider the possibility that they would pray for a President Joe Biden. Nice way to end that. Nice way to end that.
Things I shouldn't say. You circle me Christians